These are the top 10 humanoid scary urban legends. I'm your host Andrew, and let's get right into this. Starting our list right at number 10, we have the Aswang. In my home country, the Philippines, there is an evil shape-shifting creature known as the Aswang. Whenever I did something wrong or when I was out late, this is the exact creature my parents would threaten me with, and it still terrifies me till this day. As I already mentioned, it can shapeshift, and the best way to imagine an Aswang is to combine a vampire, a ghost, a witch, and a werewolf into a bowl, and this is what you would get. Freaky enough, they are very similar to humans. They basically experience all the same range of emotions such as sadness, happiness, humiliation, and the list goes on. The only difference that sets us apart from Aswangs is that they have a tendency to be bloodthirsty creatures. It's said that the Aswangs eat the hearts and livers of unborn fetuses and young children. They attack by using their proboscis, which extends from their mouth and reaches into a mother's womb to suck out a meal while the women are asleep. I know, it's pretty gross. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention that they can obviously fly, but they only appear to fly without their lower half of the body. This is because they're able to leave behind half of its torso when it transforms to have less weight to carry as they fly. So next time you're in the Philippines, let me know if you catch one, unless they catch you first. At our number 9 spot, we have Nalusafalaya. The name Nalusafalaya means long black being, and like many creepy Native American urban legends about creatures lurking in the forest, he's a quite tall and gangly shadow man. He also has very long pointed ears and small eyes, and just like a Wendigo, he's known to possess humans caught lacking in the woods. Nalusafalaya is also a cautionary tale for young children to keep them from staying out past dark. One Choctaw member reported a story of 2 boys. The boys were warned not to enter the forbidden forest, especially after dark, but they started to do it anyways. Sounds like teenagers. While they're walking in the forest path, they encounter an 8-foot tall shadow being. Just when you thought that would make you stop from your path and just walk back, one of the boys decides to keep moving forward. The being then tries to reach out and grab one of the boys, but the boys evade and manage to run, but as they're running away, they see the figure behind every single tree they pass. Eventually, the boys were heard screaming from townsfolk, but as they waited for the boys, no one showed up. All the way at our number 8 spot, we have red caps. Red caps originated in the England-Scotland border, and they are said to linger around ruined castles. They appear as goblins or dwarfs and are the size of standard garden gnomes, so around 3 to 4 feet tall. Vicious and cruel, red caps were insane serial killers who thrived on others' pain and dipped their caps in the blood of those that passed away. They are no silent assassin. Red caps will make their presence known and will try to intimidate you in order to satisfy their bloody impulses. There's even a rhyme about them that says, quote, "Beware the wicked red cap, he'd love to see you dead, he'll take all of your blood and wear it on his head." I mean, as long as you're not going into abandoned castles, you'll be fine. Coming to something with the Black Annis. The Black Annis is a horrifying blue-faced witch slash boogeyman from English folklore, specifically Leicestershire folklore. This creature has a home in a dark cave somewhere in Danes Hills, so if you live around the area, good luck. Black Annis loves the taste of human flesh, and just like the Aswang on this list, she prefers to consume young children. The way she hunts is by hiding on the top of a tree and unsuspectingly plunges down on its victims, and if that wasn't terrifying enough, she also climbs into houses like she's Santa Claus. Except instead of gifts, you'll be served with a house covered in blood. Coming at number 6, we have the Wendigo. This one is pretty much known to North Americans, but is still one of the most terrifying humanoids to possibly exist. The Wendigo is said to be a very rare demon. They are described as strong monsters that have a powerful desire to eat and kill their victims, which are humans. The legend states that a Wendigo can possess you and turn you into one itself if the person is greedy or weak and wandering the woods alone at night. There are multiple myths talking about what the Wendigos look like, but majority of them describe them to look like an animal but very tall with a skull as a head, long legs, and their whole body covered in hair and drenched in blood. They are said to be very, very fast with strength like no other, also along with super hearing, an amazing sense of smell, and are said to walk on water. Right in the hunt for our list, we have Teketeke. Teketeke is about a story of a woman named Kashima Raiku who lived in the city of Hokkaido, Japan. One night as she was waiting on the Meishin Expressway station until she was beaten by a group of men that would leave her there on the floor barely conscious. With her little strength, Raiku would frantically call out for help, but since it was so late at night, there was nobody around. After coming to the realization that no one was going to help, she began crawling her way back home. As she was crawling, she later noticed that she was on a train track and got struck by an oncoming train. The train ended up severing her body in half. Legend says she is still crawling with only half of her body while making the sounds of Teketeke. If you hear those sounds, don't go near, don't be a hero, just leave and I promise you'll feel better about yourself. All the way down on our number 4 spot, we have the Banshee. The Banshee derives from Irish and Celtic folklore, but if you've seen them on a popular TV show or movie, they are not an accurate representation of what a Banshee truly is. They like to present her as a sort of evil villain or demon, but when in reality, her purpose is sadness and spreading it everywhere. A lot of the beliefs of Banshees originate from Celtic and Irish traditions of keening. The tradition was for a woman who was paid, of course, but she would cry, scream, and lament over the body of a deceased person. It's said that the tradition was practiced into the afterlife as well. So the Banshee is basically a female spirit who announces or warns the family of an impending doom, specifically if someone will be passing away soon. So if you hear a woman crying her eyes out, beware for the bad luck that may follow after it. Coming at number 3 spot, we have the Nukulovi. The Nukulovi is a creature from the Orkney Islands and is considered a Scottish monster of Scandinavian and Celtic mythology. The Nukulovi enjoys inflicting pain, tainting crops, and driving people from their homes. It appears as a horse with a torso of a human man upon his back. Standing 9 feet tall with long drapey arms attached to the rider, it looks as though it had been skinned alive with only the muscles being exposed. It was known as the creature of the sea that had come onto land just to wreak havoc. Its breath alone caused crops to wilt and even sicken cattle with multiple diseases and illnesses. At our number 2 spot, we have Sirens. Originating from Greek mythology, Sirens are creatures with enchanting musical voices that lure sailors and unsuspecting people to their doom. They were in fact the daughters of the river god Achilles and a muse. Sometimes they're depicted as something similar to mermaids, but in more classic depictions they had wings. The wings were given to them by Zeus's daughter Persephone after Hades kidnapped her and took her to the underworld. She gave the Sirens wings to help locate her. In the oceans, however, the Sirens would sing a song so beautiful that it would lure any kind of man to jump off the boat and swim until the Sirens would pull them under or they just drowned. Taking our number 1 spot on this list, we have the Jikaniki. Be careful when you're too greedy or selfish because one day you might turn into this Japanese mythical creature known as a Jikaniki. A Jikaniki is a human-eating ghost, specifically it feeds on deceased humans. They are the spirits of selfish, greedy people who after their passing have their soul cursed for eternity. If a human were to spot one, they would be frozen in fear. I mean, look at them. They had long claws, glowing eyes, and sores all around their body. During the day, they could even disguise themselves amongst human and even try to live a normal life, but in the end of the day, their human cravings take over and they end up being bloodthirsty beasts. Well, there we have it, our top 10 humanoid scary urban legends. What do you think about this list? There was a lot on this list, and personally, I like the Aswang because that's from my home country, but what do you guys think? Leave a comment down below, like and subscribe. I'm your host Andrew, and we'll catch you on the next one.